Did it come up?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I tell you, 10 seconds, you're going to sink right back down. In 10 seconds, you're going to sink right back down.
Is this chair sitting down?
It's horrible. It's the worst chair in here.
We have 38 chairs
Yeah.
in the office. Why do we have this one in here?
I don't know.
Tough luck.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I thought producer Chris was fading out a little too early. I was trying to take a sip of water. What is up, team? Welcome to the Raw Life podcast, sponsored by UFC Gym Indy. Today's topic is favorite sports underdogs. Alongside me is Donovan and Josh. As always, we do have a special guest in the studio today. We'll get to him in just a second. Shout out to dotFIT for sponsoring this as well. And also check us out on our Instagram pages at UFC Gym Whitestown for Facebook and Instagram, and then our YouTube channel, UFC Gym Indy. So our special guest today is Mr. Nnamdi Ezenwa. Welcome. Former Purdue football player from North Cobb High School in Kennesaw, Georgia. Graduated 2008. Offer letters from Duke, IU, and North Carolina before settling on Purdue. How do the IU people feel about that?
I'm not sure about that one. I didn't know much about IU football before I got the offer. You know, the first thing that came to mind, aren't you guys a basketball school?
Right.
So they wanted me to play defensive end. And I was like, nah, I'm playing linebacker, safety. And then after that was the end of that.
I like it.
What about Duke and UNC?
Duke, same kind of deal. You know, I thought you guys are a basketball
school.
school.
Yeah, you got a lot of basketball schools. Three of the most iconic basketball programs ever, right there.
Yeah. UNC was really, appealing as far as their campus and things like that. But same kind of deal. They wanted me to play out of position, and I was like, I just can't,
Yeah.
So Purdue really sold me on linebacker, and the coach at the time, Coach Brock Spack.
Okay.
Really, really good guy. And he kind of impressed me the most going through my recruiting visit. So he kind of stuck for me and sold me on Purdue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about West Lala?
It's different.
Yeah.
When you're coming from, the suburbs right outside of Atlanta, it's a huge change as far as the weather, culture. Just a small town. I tell people there's no Purdue without West Lafayette. There's no West Lafayette without Purdue. So.
Yeah. Ross Aid's cool.
Yeah, it's a nice stadium, real big.
Yeah. You guys been to Ross Aid?
Yeah, I have.
What is this?
And
Ross Aid?
Ross Aid Stadium in West Lafayette.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man, he sounds like an IU guy.
No, Donovan's chirp all the way.
Where do I usually hang out when I go to Purdue? Chauncey Hill? Is that a spot?
Chauncey, yep.
Yeah.
Good old Chauncey.
Yeah. Jake's closed down.
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
That was
Breakfast
crazy.
Club.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the Breakfast Club?
Yeah, I did the Breakfast Club a few times.
Did you dress up?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You have to.
definitely.
Yeah. What'd you dress up as?
Me and my buddies went as the characters from Space Jam.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then one
The
time.
Monstars? Or?
Yep, the
All
Monstars.
right,
And then
all right.
one time I went as kind of an old man, had the whole face makeup and everything, and the trousers and the, the shoes and all that. So
Where's your spot for Breakfast Club? Harry's?
Harry's, we would start off at Harry's.
Yeah.
You usually ended up at where else?
Where else would you end up?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Where else would be the final
Yeah.
final spot? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one with the cups? You know what I'm talking about?
think
You talking about
everybody
the giant
has
cups?
Yeah.
The cactus.
The cactus.
That's it,
The
the
neon
cactus.
cactus.
The
Yeah.
cactus.
Yeah.
Always a good time. Lots of Gatorade consumed at the neon cactus back in the day on those Thursday nights.
Body armor.
Body armor. Right.
You
Body
had
armor.
to.
Not Gatorade, sorry.
Body armor blood.
Drink cactus juice. It's the quenchiest.
Okay, I think you've had enough.
You won't make it if you don't.
That's right. That's right. Very cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Nnamdi. We are very happy to have you in the studio today. We figured we'd switch it up a little bit and talk about some nonsense. I'm just kidding. We do that all the time. But we'll talk some serious stuff too, but we're going to really touch on favorite sports underdogs. I guess like good segue with the Space Jam into favorite sports underdogs. Man, Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes versus the Monstars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big time upset.
Nobody thought they could do it.
Nobody thought they could.
No
do it.
one believed in them.
Right.
I mean, you only had the greatest basketball player in the world.
That's
on your
right.
team.
That's right. And I
But
think
the Monstars did steal some talent from some studs, though.
They cheated though.
Yeah,
they cheated.
They did. Yeah, that's performance enhancing cartoon drugs when it comes to that. Favorite character from Space Jam? Can't say MJ. That's too obvious. All Star. It was Bill Murray, and his whole cameo towards the end. He was really the glue in in that fourth quarter that helped that team win.
Mine was Lola. Lola Bunny.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one. There you go.
Lola.
She had some nice little sass
You know
too.
what I'm saying? She was,
Forgot all about Lola.
I like it when you go outside the box to,
Right.
to make things happen, and she was doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say Bugs, but I mean, he's the star. I'm saying
that's
Bugs.
fine. You
I'm
can say
saying
Bugs. That's okay. Yeah.
I'll go Daffy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
I'll
one.
go Daffy.
Nobody went Monstars, huh? PC, what about you, producer Chris?
Let's see what we got.
Daffy.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's two.
That's 2 for Daffy. Wow. You must have been really good. I guess we'll see some clips when we
I haven't
watch this
seen it
podcast
forever.
again.
Yeah. We're gonna have to watch it again.
It's been a while.
been a long time.
That's a good one. Any other ones come to mind?
Fictional ones,
Whatever. Let's just do this.
fictional, non-fictional, depends.
Right.
Fictional underdogs,
Fictional underdogs, non-fictional underdogs.
Titans, Permian Panthers.
Are you talking
think
about Remember the
Permian
Titans?
Panthers were underdogs?
Well, when Booby Miles got hurt,
Oh, well, okay. All right. But they
Yeah.
had Billy Bob Thornton coaching, though.
they did.
Right.
Yeah, Titans were underdogs, weren't they?
Are you talking about Remember the Titans?
Yes, the
Oh,
only
yeah,
Titans.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
They were
I
underdogs.
guess because they brought everybody together. They were
Yeah.
the only
Right.
school, so,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
Didn't have any cohesion.
Yeah.
But Coach
Yeah.
Boone, you
They
got
had a lot
Coach
of good
Boone,
players,
he was-
though.
Lots of
yeah.
good players.
And you got
Gary
a
and
coach like
Julius.
Coach Boone.
Yeah.
Woo.
Two
Yeah.
All-Americans right there.
Right side, strong side. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yep. That was a good one. That's a good one.
That's a great movie.
And this current climate, we should all watch that movie.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's a good one.
Do you know the little girl's Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know.
Where you been for?
Well, I mean, I know. Trust me, I know. I'm just seeing if everybody else knows.
Right. Right. Any other ones come to mind for fictional?
Nope.
Nope.
Everything
That's
I keep
it?
thinking of is based on true stories.
Little Giants.
Little Giants.
Oh,
Giants.
yeah.
I
Yep.
just
What a
watched
throwback.
that. Yeah, I just watched that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And I've
Icebox.
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 Man. Kevin O'Shea.
My little man that could only catch toilet paper rolls.
That's
That was my dude. That was my dude.
Stick him on his hand.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see The Replacements?
Oh, good movie.
Yeah, that's not too
Keanu
bad.
Reeves and yeah.
That's going to happen if some of these players don't stop getting carried away,
That's so true.
saying they
Especially
won't play
baseball.
for half of $300 billion.
Yeah.
We'll get some new guys.
It's either all $35 million of my salary or none.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Nnamdi, would you go out there for 20? 20 mil?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, right.
Right.
Right. Nnamdi, best game you had in college?
From an individual standpoint or
Yeah.
a team standpoint?
Both.
From a team standpoint, probably our 2009 win against Ohio State
Ooh.
That's big time.
Yeah.
at home. Underdogs kind of always against Ohio State, but as of late, we seem to play pretty well against those guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just the close win we had. Our quarterback had a goal line sneak, won the game. The fans stormed the field. Campus was super excited and super fun that night. Just that was a good game, real good game from a team standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Individually, probably Notre Dame, my senior year.
Okay.
Had a few tackles and a key sack. Then my buddy, I think the next play, my buddy had a strip fumble recovery right after our sack. So it just was kind of like a big moment for us and a big moment for me individually.
Was that
Yeah.
at Purdue?
It was
I
at
was
Notre
there.
Dame.
I was at.
you were at that
okay.
game.
I was gonna say I was at the Purdue game that Notre Dame when Purdue upset us that year. I was there for that one.
Oh, Josh, Notre Dame fan.
Yeah, I grew up. I grew up right by Notre Dame, so that's what
man.
I'm from. Yeah.
You a Notre Dame fan? So you just
Oh,
So like,
man.
I think you might have been on that team still. Oh wait, no, I think 2008 was that year that Notre Dame got upset by Purdue at Purdue that year. I'm pretty sure 2008.
2008? No, I don't think so.
No?
I think it was 2007.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that might be right. That might be
Okay.
right. I knew I was just out of high school.
Yeah.
I was like, I graduated in 07, so I knew I was right there.
Well, it was 2012 when Notre Dame went to the Sugar Bowl?
They went to the national championship.
National
that season.
championship. Yeah.
They called like a timeout they didn't have
Yeah.
against us. We still remember that. We're like, you guys called a 4th timeout. Like, no one checked that.
Oh, man.
They got a little bit lucky that season.
Oh, man. Well, they didn't in the national championship game.
Nah,
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. This was a tough year, man. I'm a Niners fan too, and my Niners got lost to the Ravens that year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Notre Dame lost the national
Yeah.
championship.
Tough year. Tough year. Well, I'm a Kentucky fan, and we won the national championship that year in basketball with
I'm a
Anthony
Kentucky
Davis.
basketball
So,
fan.
yeah. So that was
I remember
that was
that.
good.
I had a good friend of mine, my high school quarterback, played for Kentucky. He played football at Kentucky.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Matt Rourke.
Okay. That name sounds familiar. You play defense?
He played receiver and then he played quarterback the last couple games.
Oh, okay.
Senior year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kentucky's good about that. Switching receivers to quarterback for some reason. Randall Cobb did that. And
It worked out for him.
Lynn Bowden this past year.
Worked out for him,
It
too.
worked out for him. I'm not complaining. Who'd you sack in that Notre Dame game? Was that Brady Quinn?
I think Everett Golston.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was the year right before he transferred out, I think.
Gotcha. That's
Oh,
fun. Was that Holiday coaching then? Or was that
Still Brian Kelly. I
okay,
think.
Brian
Yeah,
Kelly?
still
He's
Brian
been there
Kelly.
for a while.
He's been
though.
there.
Okay.
all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And who was your coach back in
Danny
college?
Hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 2 coaches. Joe Tiller was the
Yeah.
head coach my freshman year.
Gotcha.
That was his final year. And
Yeah.
Danny Hope, up until I graduated. He got fired, I think, the last game of my senior year.
Ooh,
Yeah. Purdue's
tough.
had quite a few coaches in the last few years.
they have. We got a good guy there now. Right?
Yeah, he's really good. Jeff Brom is
Yeah.
really good. I
Mhm.
like where he's taking the program.
Yeah, they look pretty good last couple of years. We have a fan that's a big or a neighbor that's a big Ohio State fan. So that was pretty fun going out and watching that Purdue game where they waxed him.
Yeah, that's good. Game.
It was pretty fun to watch.
Do you have any guys that made it to the league and been for a while on your team? Or?
Yeah, I've got a few guys who are still in the league and guys who were in and out of the league and, played a few years. Kwan Short, he plays for the Panthers. Ryan Kerrigan plays for the Redskins.
Yeah.
Had a couple guys who, were there for a little bit. I think some of them are in the XFL or CFL. Akeem Hunt, Gabe Holmes, Raheem Mostert for the 49ers.
Oh,
that's my boy. I was wondering if you play with him.
Yeah, Raheem. Yeah. Raheem was a different type of. He was a different type of cat. Like
He's a track star too.
Yeah.
That dude.
fast.
Yeah.
Stupid,
Fast. Like it was crazy going to his track meets because he would be blowing these guys out, but you could tell he was trying to get reacclimated into the track form and his get off and his form. He looked like a football player, but he was still just like blowing them away. People said, man, if he actually focused on track, he probably could have been in the Olympics.
Wow.
He was gonna try for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, then I think he realized his true passion and his full focus was football, and it's worked out for him.
It's worked out
Glad
pretty
he made
well.
that decision.
Yeah.
Me
Worked
too.
out really well.
As a Niners fan, I'm glad too.
Me too, because I am on my fantasy football team.
Oh, man,
was
that
a
Packers
solid
game?
into that year. Yeah, that was a solid end.
Should have gave him the ball more in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I know.
right. Yeah, man. I wouldn't consider Chiefs to be an underdog in that Super Bowl or either.
No, they were
of
the
them, really.
favorite.
No,
They were
yeah.
the
The
favorite.
favorite.
They're like a point and a half. Favorite.
Yeah, it
Gotcha.
kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think it was even at one
It
point. Like
was,
it could
yeah.
go either way.
Yep. Oh, I mean, if you want to talk about underdog, that Giants team against the Patriots when they were undefeated.
07.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. That wasn't in. Was that in Indy?
Yeah.
Or was that the
Was
other Super Bowl?
That wasn't the one in
It was a different Super Bowl.
2012
Yeah.
or 11. One of those.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that was here.
Sounds right. Because Indy kind of just changed after that Super Bowl came through.
Yeah, I was going to college at IUPUI when that was going on, and they gave us the whole week off of school because
awesome.
they were.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, yo, yeah, I was like,
awesome.
I'm all about it, yeah, because there was all the festivities. So,
Yeah.
anybody that's not familiar, IUPUI is like right downtown Indianapolis, and so like we were right in there, our school. So the Giants actually stayed at a hotel on our campus, so like they had to shut down, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, we had the whole week off of school, so we'd go in and do all the festivities for the Super Bowl stuff. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, they practiced at my college, University of Indianapolis. And we have the plaque still there and everything. That's where they did their indoor drills because, I mean, it wasn't a bad week for weather, but we have the big dome there at UIndy.
I
They did some
misspoke.
indoor practice.
The Patriots stayed at the hotel on our campus, and they had built the new JW for that Super Bowl, and they
Yeah,
had the Giants
that's
in
right.
that one. So I think they did that as a slight to Brady to put them at this old hotel on our campus and gave the Giants the The real nice one, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Indy, that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, I wasn't upset at all when the Giants won. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
I bet on both of those Super Bowls and got them right. So,
Nice.
So 07 one.
For entertainment purposes only, Josh bet.
Yeah.
He didn't do it for money or anything because back then that obviously wasn't legal.
Right.
In Indiana. Now it is though, so we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's gonna win this year?
Super Bowl.
Yep.
Chiefs repeat.
Niners.
Think so?
Yeah.
Niners going to
I don't
redeem
know.
it.
It's hard to
You
get
think so?
back.
Yeah, it is hard to get back. That's true. I'm hopeful about my Colts, but I don't know. We'll see how Philip Rivers.
Ravens might make it out of
Absolutely
the
not.
AFC this year.
I don't feel comfortable with Philip
That's
Rivers
what
on
I
my
was thinking.
fantasy
Ravens.
team.
I was thinking
might make it
Ravens
out of
too.
the
Yeah,
AFC.
that's a good one.
Lamar in year 3.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I hate to say it because he's a Louisville guy, but he's pretty good.
He's a stud, though.
He's pretty good.
He's a beast.
NFC teams. Green
Pretty
Bay's
good for a
always
running
there.
back, right?
Pretty good for a running back. That's right.
Pretty
Man,
good
that
for
guy's
a
a
running
beast. That guy's a beast. Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think, Donovan?
Of the NFC.
Ravens. I think.
You think the Ravens?
I
Yeah.
bet on Tom legally.
Right. Legally. Yeah.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
I think I put $10 on that to pay like 200.
For the Bucks?
Yep.
Really?
Already?
No,
You already
just-
placed it?
Well, the earlier you place it, the more you get.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a tough
Well,
division.
point.
did you do
Yeah.
it before they signed Gronk, or because that would have
The
probably
day.
been a little bit.
I was like, all right, maybe.
Gronk.
You put $10.
That is
on
going to be
Tampa
an
Bay.
exciting
I said,
offense.
wow,
Gronk,
maybe.
Evans, Godwin.
Well, they all got something to prove.
But I mean, Gronk's been out of football for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a specimen.
That dude got whooped in WWE though.
Yeah.
If you can't handle your own in a fake sport,
However, it takes a crazy person to walk away from getting hit and then coming back.
he's like, I can't
You're
wait.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you just get hit every day, that's
Yeah.
one thing because you never lose it. But leaving, getting hit, and then
Yeah.
going back, dude, you're out of your mind.
Still relatively young. 31, right, Gronk?
Yeah, something. I
So-
think
For football,
Well,
With those injuries,
point.
though, he might as well be
31.
50.
that's a good point. I'm sure Nnamdi can speak on that a little bit better than we
Those
can.
injuries set you back
Right.
a little bit.
Right. Do you have any injuries in college?
I had a few.
Did you?
Yeah. Both shoulders. I had a minor MCL tear. Hamstring bugged me for the longest.
those linger, man.
Oh, yeah. Those are
Yeah.
tough. Calves and hamstrings are tricky.
Yeah, hand injury. You know, it's just part of the game. You know,
Yeah.
especially playing linebacker in the Big Ten. You know, I've always was considered an undersized linebacker. So I came into college at like 185.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, fast guy could run. They said, let's see if we could put 20, 25 pounds on him. I think the most I ever got to was 230.
Mhm.
But even then, you're still going against 320-pound linemen. Fullbacks that weigh 250, 260, and some pretty physical running backs as well. So it takes its toll on you.
Wow. I couldn't imagine. I ran cross country in college. Like, no, thank you. I would not like to do any of that. Best player you played with and best player you played against.
Ooh, that's tough. You put me on the spot with
I
that
am,
one.
that's right.
Like you've seen them. You've seen the Raheem Mostert.
Yeah. So you gotta say,
You've
You've
right.
seen Kerrigan and Karan.
Yeah,
Kerrigan
Kerrigan's
was,
good, too.
man, he's a stud still.
As far as who I play with and who I witness day in, day out, as far as the same level of intensity and consistency and practice in the games, I'd have to say Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
motor was unmatched. I've never played with anybody with that motor like Ryan Kerrigan. Prime example, we had a training camp, and I think our first game was Notre Dame. And so they ran an up-tempo offense. So during training camp, coaches would try to practice the up-tempo, and we're talking in 100-degree weather, just going back and forth, back-to-back plays. And I think Kerrigan still had like a boot on. He had like some screws in his foot or something like that. And he barely had any subs, and this guy was still going full speed on the boot, was still wrecking havoc, was still getting sacks, forcing fumbles. I was like, this guy is just on a whole different level when it comes to his motor.
Yeah.
Like most guys would complain or try to sit that one out or be like, I can't really go full speed or try
Right.
to get through. He was just like, when he locked in and practice came, he was full go.
Wow.
He single-handedly won us that 2009 game against Ohio State. He had like 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Like, it's crazy.
Jeez, that's a big game. Yeah. It's a big game. Who was a quarterback for Ohio State back then?
I think Terrell Pryor.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
Terrell Pryor.
That was a good team.
Yeah, it was a pretty good team. They had a lot of stuff going on, I think, right before
Yeah,
like the
that's right.
suspensions came on. So I think
That's
they had a
probably-
few distractions. But
Tressel's probably last year or was before that.
yeah, I think
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a stacked team that had a lot of NFL guys on that team too. So
Man. Then best player you played against?
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
He just he didn't miss.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy because I remember like going into the draft, they were like, "Oh, he's short. You know, he's not the fastest, this, and that." And I remember sitting in like my dorm room with a couple of teammates, like, "All right, they're gonna find out real soon."
Right.
That guy's the real deal. They're gonna find out real soon.
Did you ever get close to like on a sack or a run or anything where you saw like kind of
Against Russell Wilson?
yeah?
He got rid of the ball too quick or step in the pocket and just like take off. He's a special player.
Yeah, he is. So you just know seeing some people.
Yeah,
They're
you
gonna
just
be
know.
studs.
Yeah, just playing with them or just like getting a feel from them or just like being around football for so long and you just see certain qualities and you're just like, yeah, that guy's gonna be special. Like, and then especially once you hear about like the guy's work ethic and you know how much teammates respect them and stuff like that, you're like, yeah, this guy's definitely gonna make it somewhere.
So take us through the 2009 Ohio State game, because that's obviously a good sports underdog story. You
Yeah.
guys beat them, right?
Yeah.
So what
Do
was
you remember what like how big of an underdog you guys were as far as points or anything?
I can't remember all that.
Josh back on the betting
I
lines?
probably would say maybe it wasn't. I think it was 2011 actually. Correction
Okay.
on
Okay.
correction on that 2011. But honestly, with the way our season was going and you know some of the problems we were having, we might have been maybe 20-point underdog
That's
or
a
so.
big underdog.
That's a big underdog. A couple touchdowns that's a lot.
You know, Terrell Pryor.
Yeah. He was good.
he was good.
He was good.
He was real good.
So walk us through that week for preparation purposes.
We just had a feeling. I mean, we still talk about it to this day. I know anytime you get the chance to play on national TV, especially a team like Ohio State or Alabama, you know, some of those big dogs, you bring it. It's a different type of intensity and a different type of focus you have leading up into that game. And just during that week, you know, usually how it goes. Some people are like, I don't feel like practicing today, or man, I'm tired, I'm sore. I just want to kind of take the day off, or just depending on the opponent. If you're playing like a Illinois or a smaller school, you're like, all right, man, I don't really feel like doing this. But Ohio State's like, man, we're playing Ohio State.
Right.
Terrell Pryor, this team's ranked. Like, yeah, this is a chance to like really, you know, do something. So I think just like the focus our coach came in with when we started meetings that Sunday leading up to that Saturday, he's just like, let's go. We can get these guys. We got the talent. We can get these guys. And just, I think people buying in and just the level of like the intensity in practice from warm-ups to 7-on-7 drills to Oklahoma drills to individual drills to conditioning. I think it was just a different type of energy. Like even with the scout team, like those guys were energized to give people, you know, a good look and stuff like that. So I think, you know, just that feeling leading up to it, I think everything was just in play for us to go out there and win that game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you come to game day.
Yep.
What's the preparation like for that?
I feel like at first it starts out with the nerves. I think just like, all right, you know, sometimes I'd have trouble sleeping the night before. Like, man, I'm ready to play. Like, especially seeing like some of the news and updates leading up into the game. You're just like, man, I'm ready. I'm excited. I can't wait to step out there. So, you know, you wake up in the morning. The first thing is breakfast. So you have breakfast, you know, you make sure you eat well. Coach will give us a speech. After breakfast, we go into our little room we had to set aside for. So in this room, we would have like coach talk a little bit, and then our chaplain would say a prayer. And then after that, we go into each individual room. So you'd have the defense in one room, the offense in one room. We'd go over plays, and as a team, you're yelling out, all right, what's your responsibility on this play? You know, what's your adjustments? What's your calls? So it's kind of like coordinating between the linebackers and the D-line and secondary. They'd say a call, and then you make a check, and coaches just would ask random players like, hey, what do you have in this play and this responsibility in this formation, just to make sure everybody's, you know, focused up to par and knows exactly what's going to go on. So after that, we, we'd say our prayer. We have a breakdown again, and then we'd walk out of the hotel. We always stayed at the same hotel for home games. It was the Union on campus.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the way they had it out, we would kind of walk down, and you would see Purdue alumni, and the buses would be out front, and they would have like the cheer team and the band as we're walking to the buses. And so then the buses would drive us around campus to all the different tailgate spots, and they would see the buses, and you would see people honk and cheer for you as the buses drove by. And then we pull into Ross-Ade Stadium, and we would make the walk down into our locker room, and you'd have fans like cheering for us as we got off the bus.
Mm-hmm. I don't know whose phone was that.
I don't know.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Producer Chris, was that you? Okay, of course it wasn't him.
Not mine.
Right.
That's probably
Sure, right.
Japanese have a saying, fix the problem, not the blame. Find out what's up and fix it.
And then so you walk into the stadium and you got that big crowd behind you.
Yeah.
So that helps, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Any big play sticks out to you other than Kerrigan, obviously, just manhandling everybody was what it sounds like.
Not really.
Did you have any big plays that game?
I was mainly special teams that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What was your favorite drill and least favorite drill? You guys ran.
What's the Oklahoma drill?
What's the Oklahoma
Drill. You never did Oklahoma.
Hit him with
Oklahoma.
Hit him with
Oh, man. So with the Oklahoma drill, you would have it would vary as far as like certain coaches in regards to like the linemen they would have. So typically most people would have an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, or they would have two. And those two would kind of fit up against each other. And then you'd have a running back or a skill player and then a defensive player on the other end. So in my example, as far as when we went, we'd have two offensive linemen. We'd have our two defensive linemen stacked up. And as soon as they blew the whistle, those two guys would engage.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be a running back, there'd be a linebacker on the other side, and the running back would run and just like pick a side, and you would have to try to hit that running back as hard as you could, or that running back would try to score.
That sounds tough.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty difficult.
You used to try to get like favorable matchups. You'd be like, all right, this guy's not too fast, or he's not really quick. You know, I can just hit him real quick.
Right.
But, yeah.
Is that your least favorite or favorite drill?
I mean, I wasn't really, that one didn't really bother me as much. You know, I was a pretty good open field tackler.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind contact regardless of, you know, size and how physical it was. But I think my least favorite would probably be 9-on-7.
9-on-7.
Yeah, 9-on-7. So you would have.
Okay, I was going to say describe it, because for producer Chris, who may not know what we're talking about.
So with 9-on-7, you would typically have the offense. So that would be where you'd have the 9 players on offense. And then 7 would be the defense, where you'd have the 4 defensive linemen and then the 3 linebackers. And so it was mainly focused on like trying to establish like certain run plays that you may see in different formations. So you may see like things out of I formation or power or goal line situation. And it just be nonstop contact and hitting. So like if you knew, we'd run back-to-back plays and it'd be like, all right, I have to hit this fullback. I have to run full speed in this fullback so the running back can bounce outside and then this other linebacker can make the play. But it'd just be so annoying because like the offense already knew exactly what they were going to run. So they would just go full speed at you. Right. And you would still have to try to read your keys and be like, all right, do I have A gap on this one? Do I have B gap if the running back, you know, spills outside, if the fullback spills outside, do I have to go over there? And it's just like nonstop hitting contact.
Jeez.
Fullback or lineman pulling, and it's like, all right, one play I'm running into a fullback. The next play I've got a 320-pound lineman pulling. I don't even see him till the last second. He just like runs me over. So that was probably the worst one, 9-on-7.
Yeah. And then your favorite?
I think when we had the one-on-one drills, as far as like when the tight ends would match up with the linebackers or running backs would match up, because I was a pretty decent cover guy. And I think we went against these guys so much that you kind of gain an understanding as far as like, all right, this guy that's not really the best at running his routes, or this guy is slow, or this guy's pretty soft. So I think that kind of helped as far as like knowing what you had to do in regards to your one-on-one matchups.
Gotcha. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Football. Do you still do anything with football?
I just play flag football with some old guys who played at other schools just to stay in shape. And, you know, I just love football. You know, I got some buddies who coach high school football locally, Zionsville. A buddy who coached at Carmel for a bit. So they keep talking to me about trying to coach. So I think I might get into that eventually, but you know, I've got a newborn daughter. You know, she's 7 months, so that's kind of where my focus is at right now.
Gotcha. Well, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And once again, we're talking to Nnamdi Ezenwa from Purdue University, former football player, retired old guy now, like us.
Pretty much, yeah.
No offense.
Happens the best of us.
Hey, it does.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we're all there.
Let's see if we can reel it back into our
sports underdogs.
So
you got something in mind?
I mean, Notre Dame got Rudy, obviously. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about Rudy. We got to talk about Rudy. You know what I'm saying? I got to at least throw it in there.
I'll give you that.
Sam from Lord of the Rings. Not the same guy. Sean Astin.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings. We talked about it.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
You never seen it?
Oh, I told you that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think
I have a watch party here or something.
Yeah, just play it on the back. Play it on the TV back in the background. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And you seen Rudy?
Yeah.
Did that inspire you?
I mean, not really.
Boom. Roasted.
But
No.
it was a good movie, though. I would give you that.
played on special teams.
It was a good movie, you know. I mean, I think it resonates just because, you know, I've had a lot of buddies who are walk-ons and you see like, man, I don't think I could do it. Like, you're not getting a scholarship or you don't get some of the perks that, you know, scholarship players do. But for you to be consistently out here trying to earn, you know, a spot on the team, playing time, like it takes a lot. You know, I have a lot of respect for some of those guys who were out there. You know, they would work harder than some of those guys we had on scholarship. And some of those guys ended up playing and being put on scholarship. So, you know, that's testament to their hard work. That's a true underdog story that you root for.
Yeah. Well, and shout out to Raheem, you know, Monster. He was undrafted. Right. Came in, bounced around different teams in the NFL, found his kind of footing halfway through the season with San Francisco. He really, I mean, that was like a three-headed monster.
It
He
was.
did a lot of committee backfield work, and then all of a sudden he just kind of took off towards the end.
I mean, we all knew he had it in him. He just had to get his chance. You know how it goes with the politics of this guy's drafted. We just paid this guy millions.
Right.
You're undrafted. You're talented, but our money and focus is on this guy. And I think that's just testament to Raheem. He's always had that work ethic since his freshman year. You know, college is coming in. I always said, man, we had more guys with your attitude in regards to being passionate about football and wanting to, you know, win and play. We probably would have won a lot more games. But, you know, that's kudos to him. He's doing his thing. I'm real proud of him.
That's awesome. Yeah. And he kind of, who was at San Francisco before that? Carlos Hyde was there for a while, right?
Well, we had Frank Gore was our guy back in the day.
That's right. That's what I was trying to
Longest. Frank Gore for the longest.
Frank's still
going.
Is he active this season too?
Yeah.
At age 47, he's coming back.
He signed with someone different. I
think he signed with the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah.
He's
So
a
he's
monster.
He's making his way through the AFC East there.
He's
He is.
Yeah.
Miami,
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah.
he's like third on the all-time rushing list or something now.
Something like that, yeah.
He's going to pass Walter Payton, I swear. He'll
He already
keep
got
playing till he
married.
does.
You think so? You think he passes?
I think he's just going to keep playing.
Well, yeah, if he keeps playing, it's just a matter of time.
It's crazy too, though, because he blew out his knees and everything.
Yeah.
So he had injuries
Yeah.
in college, and then for him to have this long of an NFL career with no major injuries, I mean, that's
Yeah, especially with some of the great backs he played with at Miami
Yeah.
too.
Willis
He was kind of
McGahee.
he was kind of a forgotten
Yeah.
person at one
Mhm.
point. Like, nah, we got these guys. So
Yep.
they were stacked.
Yep. It's kind of like Alabama nowadays.
running back after running back.
Right. Yeah. Georgia, same way.
Next
man
yeah.
up.
Yeah, expand up.
That's right. One that came to mind for me was the movie Glory Road,
Mhm.
Texas Western,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
University of Texas El Paso now.
That's a good movie too.
Against Kentucky.
That's a real good
Pat
movie.
Riley played on that Kentucky game back then, on that Kentucky team back then. And that was a really cool story. Great movie.
Especially with all the
Great
stuff
movie.
they had to deal with, the adversity.
Absolutely.
And, that's a real
Yeah.
big time story.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first 5 African American players
Yep.
play on the floor at the same time.
Yeah.
Started the entire season for Texas Western, won a national championship. Really cool story.
Yeah, that's wild.
You get a chance, producer Chris. Watch that. 30-minute mark. How long ago was that?
Oh,
Diamond, where are you at on it?
Oh, okay. Good.
On what?
What's yours? Underdog story.
I thought I already said one.
What?
You still got to keep going. We're
Oh,
not done.
another
We gotta
one?
bring it back.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're talking about real stuff now. You were talking about.
Well,
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
the Panthers, they were real, but they were not underdogs.
They were not underdogs.
I feel like I
Or
only...
even athletes.
Athletes.
Like I
there
think
you
about
go.
AI, man. Look at
Yeah.
how small AI
Right.
was, and
Right.
for him to be such a stud. I mean, or I mean, you could even go like you said, Russell Wilson, who they're talking about he's
Yeah.
too short.
Yeah.
Drew Brees,
Yeah.
they said the same thing about Drew
same
Brees. Go
Purdue
Purdue,
guy.
yeah. You go to Purdue, talk about that.
the
He's-
Purdue guy.
Yeah. Yeah, look at
I
Drew.
don't know. I'm
Drew
drawing a
still
blank on
gets
Underdogs.
no love,
Yeah.
man.
I watch all these movies, but...
That's true. A lot of movies.
My favorite was Steve Prefontaine back in the day.
Oh,
'cause,
cross country.
He kind of competed in the fight. Well, he was cross country.
There you go. That's a good reference.
A little bit more famous for track, though. Got into Olympic trials and things like that, competing with a lot of different people. Unfortunately, his life was cut a little bit too short going forward, else he probably would have been a pretty great Olympic runner for USA, because it was always Ethiopia and Kenya and all these places that train at altitude constantly. Then he comes in and has a great career at Oregon, and then really steps up his game going into the Olympics. Ran some really fast times, but still didn't quite make the cut. So, but he's one of my favorite stories for sure.
I feel like you can't forget about some of the obvious classics too, like when the U.S. hockey team beat Russia.
Yeah, nice work.
Yep.
Nice work.
Man.
Yeah,
You know, the movie was all right. I think the movie was okay. But
Yeah.
as far as like the history behind that,
it's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked
And
it.
then Another one of my all-time favorites since I was a little kid, probably Rocky Balboa.
How we forget about
nice.
Rocky?
You can't forget about
that's
Rocky,
the
man.
biggest
Dang, we just talked about him.
We did.
That's right.
It's almost like you felt like you grew up with Rocky, just
Yeah.
seeing
Oh, yeah.
his
Absolutely.
fights and his bouts. Like,
Yep. Who was he the biggest underdog?
Drago, right?
Drago
Rocky.
had to be.
See,
I mean, he killed Apollo.
Apollo, that's what I'm saying.
If he
He's a
dies,
machine.
he dies. That's line of the whole
There you
movie.
go. Chris, you got to put that in. No, but I would say the first fight against Apollo Creed, because
That
he
was
was
good
a
one.
nobody.
Yeah.
He was a
Was
nobody.
nobody. And
Came
Apollo was
in
the
there,
best fighter.
the world champion,
Yep.
and it was a draw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man,
Why was Rocky always the underdog?
Because if you look at his record, he was like
Yeah.
50 and 26 or
Yeah,
something.
got beat up a lot.
Small guy too compared
Yeah,
to
he
everybody
was
that he
small.
went up
Yep.
against.
Yep. The fighter, Mark Wahlberg.
That was a good movie.
That was a good movie
Martin.
too.
That was a
Yeah.
good. I can't remember who it was based off of though. We talked about Christian Bale in that movie as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That one reminded me of the one with what's her name?
The Girl Fighter?
Yeah,
With
Talking about
Clint Eastwood.
$1 Million Baby?
with Clint Eastwood.
Is that it?
$1 Million Baby.
$1 Million
$1
Baby.
Million
Yeah.
Baby,
yeah.
That's another good one too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is a good one.
What's her name?
Yeah, I forgot her name.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Nope, it's... Oh, I got it. I can't...
Hillary Swank.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So-
I had to think about that for a second.
I kept thinking Swank would be fun.
Yeah.
Swank, I was way off.
There you go. Man, I just had one in my head and I couldn't think of it. Dang it! It was right there. It's gone.
Yeah.
It was a good underdog one though.
Yep.
Give me a second. Start talking. I'll
Yeah.
think of it. Yeah.
I'm thinking of like real life sports people. Like I was saying, like
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
and some of those guys.
NC State against the Phi Slamma Jamma.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Houston. Great 30 for 30 documentary on it. It was Jimmy Valvano and the NC State Wolfpack were like a 7 or 8 seed, marched their way to the finals and
Yeah, I know what you're
beat,
talking about now.
or was it Louisville? They beat Louisville, I think, in that championship game. What's it called? Oh, Survive and Advanced is the 30 for 30. Great 30 for 30 to watch.
I'm trying to think of.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, you gotta
I'm all
watch
about the 30 for 30.
The 30s
yeah,
for 30s are
amazing,
great.
amazing. Yeah.
They're amazing.
Jordan one was great.
Yeah.
it. I'd say every underdog in March Madness, I feel like I always root for.
Yeah. Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about
Oh, yeah, definitely.
we're talking about
Yeah,
underdogs here.
Yep. Kimball Walker had a great run back in the day.
Yeah.
He had a crazy
I bet
run.
some Skittles on that too. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was in there for that run.
Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a great run.
Yeah, that was
Played
awesome.
Butler and
Still a big
championship.
Kemba fan
Yeah.
since then.
Mm.
Yep. That was when you were in school.
Whole Big East
Yeah.
tournament.
Did you get a chance to go down there when the Final Four was here?
Nah.
I don't know.
I was like down in Indy, but like as far as like the games and getting in there, nah. But the Indy was fun during that time.
Yeah, that was a
'cause
great time.
At that time too, Purdue was like making a run. So we thought, how crazy would that be if Purdue ended up playing against Butler
Yeah.
in
the
Indianapolis?
championship,
Like
yeah.
that would have been crazy.
Right. And that was that Robbie Hummel and
Yeah,
Juwan
Eatwan
Johnson
Moore and all those
Eatwan?
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good team.
That was a
real good team.
squad. Good squad.
Then he tore his ACL. And,
That's tough.
yeah,
A couple times, right?
Couple
He had
times,
a couple.
yeah.
He's a great broadcaster, though.
he's
You listen
doing
to
pretty
him?
good. Yeah, he's doing real good.
He's really good. Because that was Super Bowl was there around
Yep,
that time,
I think it was on the same
and
time.
then the Final Four was there.
Yep.
Coming up here in Indy, it's going to be a good time because we have the Final Four coming back soon. We have the college football playoff next year,
Yeah.
so hopefully that doesn't get canceled like everything else in this world.
Hopefully
So that's going to be really cool. And then the NBA All Star game
Mhm.
coming up too.
Oh, forgot
Really,
about that. Yeah.
really exciting time in Indy. I have to go to the slam dunk contest. I have to. It's been a dream of mine, even though the last one was kind of whack.
Last one wasn't too
Uh,
bad. The-
Aaron Gordon won.
Aaron Gordon won.
He won.
Yeah.
D Wade out there hating on them.
Yeah, you know, it's like, oh, that's my former teammate. I gotta give him the win.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Aaron
yeah,
Gordon
yeah.
won.
Aaron Gordon definitely won.
Yeah,
that.
come on. Any other sports underdogs come to mind?
Was Muhammad Ali an underdog against Sonny Liston?
He may have been.
I think he might have been.
Yeah.
Might have
I was
been.
trying to
Yeah.
think of fighter
Yeah.
underdogs earlier too. I think. I mean, obviously,
Mark Wahlberg,
What's the old boy's name that knocked Tyson out?
Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of
Yeah.
the biggest, 38
right.
to 1 or 52 to 1 or something.
right.
Yeah,
That was
he
a big one.
Yeah, he was huge.
Because Iron Mike was on a roll back then. Man,
Sleeping everybody.
it was something like the majority of his fights lasted like 40 something seconds or
Yeah,
something.
that's stupid.
Something
That's crazy.
Doesn't make
Crazy.
sense.
Crazy. Sports underdogs.
Sports, are there more? There are more. But
There's got to be more.
You know, we got the I Believe Warriors that beat. They were the 8 seed that beat the number one
that was
seeded Dallas Mavericks
Baron
team.
Davis.
Yeah. Matt Barnes,
Jason
Baron
Richardson.
Davis, Steven Jackson,
Yep.
all those guys. Yeah,
That was a fun
they
series
call
to
them
watch.
like put themselves the misfits in there together, and
right.
they came in there and
Right.
beat the number one seed. That was the only time that's happened, I think. Still,
Honestly, and it doesn't sound like an underdog, but that Cavs team a few years back that beat the Warriors in the finals, down 3-1.
well, I mean, the Warriors
Count it.
did set the record for the most regular season wins that year.
Right,
True.
right. 73 wins and they lost.
And that was a stacked Warriors team. So,
That-
regardless if they
yeah.
had LeBron and Kyrie,
Right.
Yeah.
still
Right.
a stacked team to go against.
Yeah.
Even though I do think that they wouldn't have lost if Draymond would have been suspended for that
Hey,
game, but you know what I'm saying?
I'm right there with you. I
Yeah,
agree
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm right there with you.
You got to keep it above the belt, man. You know that.
Yeah. Well,
Coming from UFC, Jim.
that was a good underdog. So
I feel like Kobe's team too. When they came back and beat the Celtics the second year,
Yeah.
year after losing,
Yeah.
I feel like that was
cried.
good. Kobe literally carried that team.
I cried.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you had KG, Ray Allen,
Yeah,
Four
Hall
Hall
of
of Famers.
Rajon
Four Hall of
Rondo,
Famers.
Yeah, 4 Hall of Famers.
all on the same team.
Was Big
Kendrick
Baby
Perkins.
on that team?
Yeah.
too?
Big Baby, Glenn Davis was
Perk
on that
and
team.
Perkins.
Perk
Was on
Yeah.
that team. And then you had Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant, and Sasa Vujicic.
Kobe literally
That
carried
was
that
your
team.
team.
Well, we had
That was your squad.
we had our test too.
Oh, that's
but,
right.
you know,
Lamar Odom.
Yeah, no. Lamar was. I don't think Lamar was on that team anymore after that point. I can't remember honestly, but our test came up huge for us defensively.
Defensively.
That year.
I was
And then
so
he did
mad.
hit. He did hit that game that we won.
Yeah, he
in
hit
the
a
final game.
big
Yeah,
time
game-
three.
that
Yeah.
three, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He had a pretty good game that game. Yeah, that was.
Oh, Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
Mr. Seven Rings.
Yep. Yep.
that was my dude too. All my Lakers. I'm a big Kobe fan. If you didn't know about earlier.
Same here.
So,
That's my favorite
Yeah.
basketball player of all
Same.
time.
I got
Who
Kobe
wasn't, Would
tattooed.
anybody say they like, oh, I wasn't a big Kobe fan, you think?
It's a LeBron
Anybody?
fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say LeBron fan.
No.
We always we get into it.
We get-
That's why it's been
That's
tough
so
for me
true.
because I'm a lifer Kobe fan, and now LeBron's on the Lakers, and I'm like,
Same
man,
here.
I got
Yeah.
to cheer for the Lakers because that's my
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah,
and I've
same
never
here.
been a
Lakers are my
LeBron
team,
fan,
too.
and I'm like,
Right. Right.
But
All right. Going around the table real quick. Favorite sports team ever? You gonna say Purdue?
like a 1 year of the sports team,
Like
or
1 year,
One
like-
year.
like
1
a
year.
lifer?
1 year.
Ooh.
One that really jumped out to you.
Oh. We'll start over
No,
there.
I'm gonna let you start.
Well, I'm a Bears fan,
Okay.
so I'm gonna have to say 85 Bears because
Yeah.
Weren't even alive.
that's right. I wasn't
Hey, but I mean, you know enough when you watch them, you hear
when
about
they
it.
won. You know?
You know that's a squad when they make a music video before they even win the Super Bowl, talking about they're the Super Bowl champs.
Right.
That's pretty swag.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
Can't-
Bears fan from Fort Wayne.
That's not
I
that
met
far
a
away.
lot of Bears fans when I
Well,
lived in Fort Wayne.
In my hometown, Northside, it's a lot. It's pretty much Bears and Packers.
Well, you're
There's
the
hardly any
region,
Colts.
though.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but we're
right.
still in
Yeah, that's
Indiana.
funny that you
Yeah.
say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of my friends from the region
Yep.
are Packers fans.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bears and
Yeah.
Packers up there.
Bears and Packers up there.
Oh,
for sure.
really? That's interesting.
Hardly any Colts
Yeah.
up there for some
Yeah.
reason.
Right.
Wow.
Well, because we're relatively new still. I mean, you're talking
That's
about two teams that have been there the entire time. We just got here in 84,
That's true.
so just before I was born.
Yep.
Yeah. Josh.
Mine was the one that he's talking about, that Lakers squad, because
There you
Kobe's first ring without Shaq. That was, everybody was hating on my boy, talking about he couldn't do it. Then he got the ring already with the Magic in between, but so it wasn't his first one without Shaq. But that one with the Celtics, that was the biggest one, I think. His
Mhm.
first one without Shaq was awesome, but then that getting the Celtics redemption, I think that was my favorite squad, brother.
Mhm.
Mine's kind of a toss up. You know, I think I'm definitely gonna stay in the football route. But
Yeah.
just being a kid growing up, I think, you know, either the 2001 Miami Hurricane team
Oh,
or
that's a good one.
the 2004 USC team before they had lost to I think Texas in the national
Yeah,
championship.
That was
that's
one of
right.
the best college
That's
games.
right.
Yeah, that was. I
Oh,
think that was
man.
probably the best national, in my opinion, the best national championship.
It'd be
game.
hard to beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like growing up, seeing those guys, like seeing Reggie Bush play football, and just the
Oh,
way
yeah.
he, like, it was like playing backyard football to
Yeah.
him. Like
Yep.
Like
He was-
just fun to watch, and then all the talent they just had that went to the league and got drafted, and
Yeah.
you could see they had a lot of fun playing for Pete Carroll. I think that team was really fun to watch.
Yeah. Reggie
You know, they
Bush.
broke my heart Notre Dame heart, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bush push, but
Right.
it's
Bush
fine.
push.
It's fine. It's fine. That's still
Every
fun
Notre
to
Dame
watch.
fan I've ever
Big
met
deal.
talks about that.
They do.
Well,
Right.
we were on track for national championship that year too, and I mean that was probably our best team in my lifetime that I remember.
Mhm.
I think it was
Bush.
our best legitimate shot of being there. Yeah, I remember that game.
I think Reggie Bush averaged like 9 yards per carry.
Yeah, something crazy.
Something crazy. His
And-
Heisman
But
Trophy
hurting on
winning
you.
year. Man,
I
that guy
know.
was good.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I feel like he barely played in the fourth quarter too, for the most part.
Yeah.
I feel like by that point they were
Yep.
blowing like most of the teams out. But
I think that first national championship game that Clemson won against Alabama was one of the best games I ever saw.
that was a good one too.
Reggie or Deshaun Watson. I did
Stacked.
watch that Texas game though, but Deshaun Watson threw that touchdown pass with like 2 seconds left. That was incredible. But that iconic Vince Young
Yeah.
running through that end zone against them, man, that was
I
tough.
still see him like holding it up
Yeah.
and the confetti
Yep.
drop, and it's like that's
Yep.
an iconic moment.
Yep. And then back with the Miami Hurricanes, that
That team was just stacked.
who they play, Ohio State, Maurice Claret, that national championship game.
No, I think that was a
good
couple years
game.
before that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
yeah.
think that's when they still had like
they beat
Sean
Nebraska in
Taylor,
01. Yeah.
Ed Reed, and some of those guys.
Andre Johnson.
Andre
And that was-
Johnson. Yeah.
That was a squad, man.
Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah, that's right. Mine was back-to-back years in college basketball. I do like UConn. I've always been kind of a UConn fan. I like Rip Hamilton, Rudy Gay, those guys back in the day, right?
Gay
Karan
was
Butler
nice.
was one of my favorite players growing up. So watching, Calhoun win one in 11 and then back-to-back with Kentucky in 12, those were two of my favorite, I guess, teams you could say. Yeah, Kimball Walker was just on
Stacked
another
teams. Yeah,
level.
Kemba Walker
Just
was
on
on
another
fire.
I couldn't even name another player on that team. Oh, I get was Shabazz Napier on that squad or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah,
freshman.
so he was,
Yeah.
but still, it was basically
Yeah,
the
there's
Kemba
scenes
show.
to beat. I mean, you
Yeah.
had some names, but
Yeah.
nobody really that was that great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the Kemba show.
yeah. And then you had obviously Anthony Davis,
Mhm.
Terrence Jones, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, a lot of different good Kentucky players that
Yep.
day. So yeah, all right, we're probably running long, aren't we,
Yep.
Producer Chris?
What
Oh,
if-
yeah.
yeah.
We got a note
Longest
right
one.
there.
Hey, that's all right. Though. We
45
had fun.
minutes.
It was a good talk. Thanks for joining us for the Raw Life podcast, sponsored by UFC Gym Indy. Thank you for our special guest,
Thank you for having me.
Nnamdi Ezenwa, for joining us. Former Purdue Division I football player. Now one of us retired guys, but he still plays, so that's good. There we go. We got some graphics in there. Be sure to follow us at our social media pages on Facebook, UFC Gym Whitestown, as well as at UFC Gym Whitestown on our Instagram. Shout out to our class, UFC Gym. We got a workout in there earlier that kicked our butts. Try to get you in for a workout too,
Definitely.
Nnamdi, for sure.
Get
and
me
we'll
back in shape.
get you in there, hit some bags for a little bit, and then follow us on our YouTube page, hit the bell, get notifications on our next podcast, such as this one that comes out on our UFC Gym Indy channel on YouTube. Thanks for joining us once again. Thanks to Producer Chris and Producer Isabel for everything that they do, and we'll see you next time on the Raw Life Podcast.